Sterry, where are you going? Sterry? Oh, hi, boys and girls. Sterry and I were just going to read chapters 2 through 5 in the library, Monster. I don't know where she's going in such a hurry. Maybe she has a case to solve. I guess I'll just wear this silly hat as I read you the next chapters of the library, Monster. Here we go. Chapter 2 Busted. For a monster, he's not very big. In fact, he's way smaller than I am. And he doesn't have any fur. He has short, stubby legs with fingers and toes, scaly skin, and a long, skinny, blue tongue. I've never met anyone with a tongue like that before. Who are you? I asked, sniffing him. What are you? Where did you come from? He stares at me with round little eyes. Man, he smells strange. Sort of like sand and lettuce, but something else too. I notice an open window at the end of the aisle. Did you crawl in through the window? I ask. The monster scurries back behind the books. Hey, I say. More books fall to the floor. I'm talking to you. But the monster is fast. I climb over the books and stick my head under the shelf so I can see him. He's climbing up the inside of the shelves. Where are you going? I ask him. You can't hide in our bookshelves. Mrs. Warner wouldn't like it. I hear footsteps behind me. What are you barking at, buddy? Miss Christie asks. More footsteps and another voice. What are all those books doing on the floor? Uh-oh. That's Mrs. Argus. She's a teacher here. For some reason, she doesn't like me very much. I keep telling Mrs. Keene that dogs don't belong in school. Mrs. Argus scowls at the books that are scattered around my feet. 2 or 5 kids peer around her. I can tell they think I'm a bad dog. It's not what you think, I tell them. There's a monster hiding in the bookshelves. Mrs. Christie smiles. I wonder if Buddy's found our mouse, she says. Mouse? Miss Argus leaps back. I don't think she likes mice any more than she likes me. It's not a mouse, I say. It's a monster, a real live blue-tongued monster. He's hiding behind the books. Let me try and get him to come out. I scratch at the books and a few more come tumbling down. Okay, buddy, Miss Christie says, grabbing my leash. She bends down and peers between the shelves. Do you see him? I ask, wagging my tail. Look up between the shelves. That's where he went. Hello, I hear a man's voice behind me. Do you ladies work here? I turn. Hey, who's that guy? And what's inside those cases he's carrying? Miss Christie stands up. Oh, you must be Bob the reptile guy, she says. I'm Mrs. Christie. What's a reptile guy, I wonder? I walk all around him, sniffing him up and down. I thought that monster smelled strange. This guy and the stuff he's carrying smells even stranger, like sand, sticks, water, hot light bulbs, and something else, something alive. There's something alive in both of his cases. The man sets one of the cases on the floor and shakes Mrs. Christie's hand. Yes, I'm Bob, he says. He offers his hand to Mrs. Argus too, and she shakes it, but I can tell she doesn't want to. We're so happy to have you here, Miss Christie says. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Warner, and she can show you where to set up. She leads me and the reptile guy back to the storytime area. What about the monster? I ask. We don't want a strange monster running around loose in the library, do we? Of course. I also want to know what's inside those cases. They smell so interesting. I sniff the case on the floor. I hear a soft "s" sound inside. What is that? Is there a snake in that case? I've smelled snakes before, but I've never actually met one. They always slither away before I can meet them. I hope I can meet this one. I have quite a bit more to carry in, Bob says. Why don't I go get everything else out of my van, and then you can introduce me to Mrs. Warner. Mrs. Warner is talking to a group of kids over by the computers, but she hurries over before Bob can leave. I'm Mrs. Warner, she says, holding out her hand. You must be Bob. Thank you for coming today. Bob shakes her hand. My pleasure, he says. Mrs. Christie, would you help Mrs. Argus's class find some books? Mrs. Warner asks. I'll take Bob to the office to meet Mrs. Keene. She turns to Bob. While we're there, we'll page Mr. Poe. He can help you bring your things in. Okay, Bob nods. Do you want to take Buddy to the office with you? Mrs. Christie asks. Sure, Mrs. Warner reaches for my leash. I groan. I don't want to go back to the office. I want to meet the snakes. I want to meet whoever's inside the other case, and I still have to find the monster that's hiding in the bookshelves. I don't think Mrs. Warner even knows there's a monster loose in her library. Come on, Buddy, Mrs. Warner says. No pulling on the leash. But, I say, but it's no use. Mrs. Warner and the reptile guy walk me to the office. Chapter 3. Who ever heard of a blue-tongued skink? I sit on my pillow and watch long lines of kids troop past the office. I smell excitement in the air. Those kids must be going someplace. Stay here, Buddy, Mom says from her desk. Lie back down on your pillow. I sigh and lie down. I bet those kids are going to the library. I bet they're going to meet Bob the reptile guy, his snake, and whatever else he brought. Maybe they'll even see the monster. I hate that there are interesting things going on in this school without me. If I listen hard, I can hear kids laughing and clapping and oohing and eyeing in the distance. I wish I knew what they were laughing and clapping and oohing and eyeing about. After 10 or 20 hours, Mom stands up. She grabs my leash. Oh, boy! I wag my tail. We're going somewhere. Ellie, Mom says to the lady in the main office outside Mom's office. I'm going to the library. I'd like to catch the end of the reptile presentation. Oh, boy, the library. I'll get to meet that snake after all. Okay, Ellie says. Do you want to leave Buddy here with me while you go? What? No. You don't mind? Mom asks. Not at all, Ellie replies. Buddy and I are good friends. Would you like a treat, Buddy? Treat? I swivel around so I'm facing Ellie. She tosses me a liver treat and I catch it in my mouth. I love liver treats. They're my favorite food. Would you like another one? Ellie reaches into her jar of treats and tosses me another liver treat. You bet! I catch that one in my mouth too. That's all for now, Ellie says, closing up the jar. Okay. I turn back to Mom. Can I please go to the library with you? Oh, but Mom is already gone. So how was the presentation? I ask Mom when she comes back 100 years later. What did you see? What did you do? Did you meet the snake? Did you see the monster? Mom doesn't answer any of my questions. She takes me back to her office and sits down at her desk. I think she has work to do. It's okay, I tell her. We can talk later. I turn 174 circles on my pillow and plop down. Work time for Mom means nap time for me. But just as I'm getting settled, the light on the ceiling flickers. Mom and I both raise our eyes. The light flickers again. Are the lights flickering out there? Mom asks Ellie. No, Ellie says. Are they flickering in your office? Yes, Mom says. Maybe the bulb is loose. She drags a wooden chair under the light, climbs up, and tightens the bulb. Hopefully that'll take care of it, Mom says. Then she goes back to work, and I go back to my nap. After school, Connor stops into the office. His friend Michael is with him. Michael is my friend Mouse's new human. They live on our street. Hi, Connor. Hi, Michael. I say, sniffing them all over. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to smell you. They both smell like Bob the reptile guy. Hi, buddy, Connor says, scratching my ears. Michael pats my back. Mom, can I go over to Michael's house? Connor asks. For a little while, Mom says, and then she says my favorite words. Do you want to take Buddy with you? Please, please, please. Say you want to take Buddy with you, I tell Connor with my tail. Sure, Connor says. Buddy likes Michael's dog. Oh, happy day. I get to go with Connor and Michael. I get to go to Michael's house. I get to visit Mouse. On the way to Michael's house, Connor and Michael talk about all the animals Bob the reptile guy brought to school. Snakes, tortoises, iguanas, and lizards. Which one was your favorite? Michael asked Connor as we crossed the street. I liked the bearded dragon. He was cool, Connor says. Yeah, Michael agrees, but I think I liked the lizard with the horns better. I've never seen a lizard like that before. Connor snorts. Did you meet Toby Bauer before he moved? Is he the kid in Mrs. Adler's class who brought 3 lizards to school last week? Michael asks. Yeah, Connor says. He had some of the weirdest lizards I've ever seen. And he had to give them away because his mom said he couldn't take them when they moved. I wonder if he found people to take them all. Michael shrugged. I wanted to take them, but Mrs. Larson wouldn't let me. She said I already have a lizard. He rolls his eyes, like a person can only have one lizard. Michael is what humans call a foster kid. That means he lives with the Larsons, but he's not really their kid. Can I see your lizard? Connor asks. Sure, Michael says. I want to see your lizard too, I say. I've never met a lizard before. But when we get to Michael's house, Michael and Connor put me in the backyard with Mouse and close the gate. Hi, buddy, Mouse says, bounding over to me. Hi, I say. I let Mouse sniff me as I paw at the fence. Hey, Connor, can Mouse and I come in and see Michael's lizard too? Connor doesn't pay any attention. He and Michael go in the house and close the door behind them. My tail droops. I shouldn't be surprised. Mouse is an outdoor dog. He hardly ever gets to go inside. Why do you want to see Michael's lizard? Mouse asks. He doesn't mean to yell. He's just so big that when he talks, it sounds like yelling. Because I've never seen one before, I say. It isn't very interesting, Mouse says, and it doesn't do much. I don't think it can even talk. Does it by any chance have a blue tongue, I ask. A blue tongue? I don't think so. Why would you ask that? I tell Mouse all about the monster in the library. Strange, Mouse says. And you don't know what that monster is or where it came from? No, I say. You dogs are so dumb, says a smug voice in the tree. I look up. It's Cat with no name. I don't like it when Cat shows up in the middle of my conversation with Mouse. I really don't like it when he calls me dumb. There are only about 4 or 5 animals in the whole world that have blue tongues, Cat says as he licks his paw. He doesn't tell us what any of those animals are. I think he wants us to ask so he can talk about how dumb we are some more. Don't ask, I tell Mouse with my eyes. He nods at me. I clench my teeth together. Don't ask, I tell myself, but I can't stop myself. Okay, what animals have blue tongues? I say really fast. I hate that I said it at all. Cat jumps to the next branch. Giraffes and polar bears have bluish-black tongues, he says. It wasn't a giraffe or a polar bear, I say. What other animal has a blue tongue? Mouse asks. There are dogs that have blue tongues, Cat says. He must be talking about chows or Shar-Peis. Those dogs have dark tongues. The monster I saw was definitely not a dog, I say, and his tongue was bluer than a chow's tongue or a Shar-Pei's tongue. It was bright blue. Then it must be a blue-tongued lizard or skink, Cat says. There are actually 6 different species of them. They live in Australia. Is this Australia? Mouse asks. No, Cat says, rolling his eyes. It's Minnesota. I can't stand to be around such dumb dogs. He leaps to the ground, then slips through a hole in the fence. Mouse and I look at each other. I've never heard of a blue-tongued skink, I say. Me either, Mouse says. Maybe it's not a real animal, I say. You can't believe everything a cat tells you. Sounds like you have a new case to solve, Mouse says. The case of the library monster. I guess I do. Here's what I know about the monster so far. It's small, It has legs and a tail. It also has fingers and toes. Its skin is scaly. It's fast. It can climb. Here's what I don't know about the monster. What is it? Where is it? Is it still in the library or did it go somewhere else? Where did it come from? And why is it in our school? Here is what I'm going to do to find out what I don't know. Chapter 4. I Smell a Monster. I smell that monster again as soon as Mom opens the door to the school the next day. I run a little bit ahead of her, sniffing, sniffing, sniffing. I don't think the monster is in this hallway right now, but it's been here. It's been here recently. Hey, what's that flaky stuff over by the wall? Stay with me, buddy. Mom pulls me closer to her. But there's something over there, I say. Don't you see it? I think it belongs to the monster. It might be part of its skin. Whoa! Can this monster actually take his skin off? Maybe he's playing a game with me. Maybe he left some skin as a clue and now he wants me to find him. Mom steers me around the corner. I don't smell any monster down this hallway. Can we go back the other way? I ask Mom. Maybe we should check the library and see if the monster went back in there. Oh, Mom has no idea what I'm saying. I'm not sure she even knows I'm trying to talk to her. It's so frustrating when humans don't understand. Mom leads me into the main office, then into her office and points to my pillow. Lie down, buddy, she says. I lie down. Mom shuffles over to her desk, turns on her computer, and sits down. The light above her flickers 1 or 7 times. She raises her eyes, sighs, and gets to work. When Ellie comes in, she says good morning to Mom, then tosses me a treat. Hey, this is a new treat. Beef instead of liver. I love beef treats. They're my favorite food. Can I please have another one? I ask Ellie with my eyes. The phone rings and Ellie reaches for the phone instead of a treat. Hello? Four Lakes Elementary School, she says. Yes? Yes? I don't think so. But I'll check and get back to you. Ellie hangs up the phone, then calls into Mom's office. That was Bob, the reptile guy on the phone. He thinks he may have left a box of baby mice in the library when he was here yesterday. Do you know if we found a box of mice? Mice? Mom's eyebrows rise. Do you mean live mice? That's what it sounds like, Ellie says. I doubt it, Mom says, but check with Mrs. Warner to be sure. Okay. Ellie picks up her phone and calls Mrs. Warner. While she's on the phone, Mr. Poe tromps into the main office. Hello, Mr. Poe, I say. I like Mr. Poe. He always smells good. Today he smells like wood and oil. I don't think Mr. Poe sees me lying here in Mom's office. He steps over to the board with all the keys on it. He stares at it for a while, then turns towards Mom's office. Do you know where the key to the furnace room is, Sarah? He asks. Isn't it hanging on the board? Mom asks. No, it's not, says Mr. Poe. Mom scoots her chair back and marches over to that board. I can see from where I'm lying that there's an empty hook on the bottom row. Is there supposed to be a key on that hook? That's odd, Mom says, scratching her chin. If it's not hanging here with the other keys, I don't know where it would be. When was the last time you saw it? I don't know, Mr. Poe says. I haven't been in the furnace room since last spring. But it's getting colder outside, so I want to check the furnace today. I noticed that key was missing last week, Ellie says as she hangs up the phone. I assumed you had it, Mr. Poe. Nobody else ever goes down there. I don't have it, Mr. Poe says. Oh no. It sounds like there's another mystery to solve around here, the case of the missing key. All of a sudden, the light in Mom's office flickers and goes out. Mom groans. Oh, I thought I just had a loose connection in there. Looks like I need a new bulb. I'll go get you one, Mr. Poe says. As soon as he leaves, Mrs. Christie pokes her head into the office. Are you ready to go to the library, buddy? She asks me. I'm always ready to go to the library, I say, hopping to my feet. I love the library. It's my favorite place. Mrs. Christie leads me down the hall. Sniff, sniff, sniff. I smell monster. I also smell pencils, crayons, glue, paint, lots and lots of humans. And as soon as we turn down the hall that leads to the library, I smell monster again. The scent is getting stronger. Now we're in the library. I'm still sniffing, sniffing, sniffing. Where is that monster? Do you need to go outside, buddy? Mrs. Christie asks. Maybe I should take you out before the kids come. No, I don't need to go outside, I tell Mrs. Christie. I need to find the monster. But Mrs. Christie takes me outside anyway. I sigh and quickly do my business. When we get back inside, I search the library some more. I don't think the monster is here right now, so where is he? Well, I spend the morning listening to 10 or 3 kids read to me. A lot of the kids bring books about reptiles today instead of books about buses. So now I know what a reptile is. A reptile breathes air, is cold-blooded, lays eggs, has skin with scales, is a tetrapod. What's a tetrapod? I ask the kid who's reading to me right now. He smells like sugar, oatmeal, and yuck. Cat. And what's cold-blooded? Sugar Oatmeal Cat Boy keeps reading. A tetrapod has 4 legs or had ancestors with 4 legs. What? Really, I say? But I thought a snake was a reptile. Snakes don't have any legs. Thinking about snakes reminds me of Bob the reptile guy and all the animals he brought. I wonder if the library monster is a reptile. Maybe it belongs to Bob the reptile guy. Maybe it escaped while he was here. Except I found the monster before I met Bob the reptile guy. Didn't I? Oh, sometimes I have trouble with before and after. Also, Bob the reptile guy called and said he was missing some baby mice. He didn't say anything about missing any reptiles. Your time is up, Miles, Mrs. Christie says. No, not yet, I beg. Tell me why snakes are reptiles, and tell me what cold-blooded means. Miles shakes my paw. He doesn't answer any of my questions. He does give me a cracker, though. I love crackers. They're my favorite food. Then he leaves, and somebody else comes to read to me, a girl. She's about Connor's age, and she smells like sugar and strawberries and... Whoa! She also smells like the monster. Chapter 5. The Secret Door. Who is this girl, and why does she smell like the monster? The smell isn't real strong, not as strong as it was out in the hallway a little while ago, but it's there, on her hands, her stomach, her legs, and her feet. Okay, buddy, Mrs. Christie says, pulling me away from the girl. Let's let Maya get settled. Maya giggles as she drops to her knees beside me. She hugs a book to her chest. Mrs. Christie loosens her grip on my leash, and I sniff Maya's shoulders and her neck. I think he likes you, Mrs. Christie tells Maya. But I'm not sniffing Maya because I like her. I'm sniffing her for clues. Clues to who she is, why she smells like the monster, and where the monster might be. Unfortunately, I don't smell any clues. Okay, buddy, Mrs. Christie says, time to lie down. She points at the floor. I lie down close to Maya. Maya gives me a little pat. Then she shows me her book. It's called Blue-Tongued Skink, she says. Blue-Tongued Skink? I can hardly believe my ears or my eyes. There on the cover is a picture of the monster I saw in this very library. So, a blue-tongued skink is a real animal. Cat with no name didn't make it up. Maya opens the book and starts reading. I sit up so I can see the pictures. Did you know you smell like one of those? I ask her. Maya doesn't answer. She just keeps reading. I think it's very interesting that you smell like a blue-tongued skink, and you're reading a book about them, I tell her. Buddy, shh, Mrs. Christie says, putting her finger to her lips. But I can't shh. I have too much to say. Did you know there's one of those guys somewhere in this school, I ask? I saw him in the library. I smelled him in the hallway. I don't know where he is now. Can you help me find him? Maya doesn't understand a word I'm saying. I sigh. If I can't talk to Maya, maybe I should listen to her read. Maybe she'll read something that will give me a clue to finding the blue-tongued skink. I start to lie down when Maya reads. A blue-tongued skink can be a very nice pet. I sit back up. It can? Do you have a blue-tongued skink at your house? I ask Maya. Is that why you smell like one? Buddy, Mrs. Christie says. She turns to Maya. I don't know why he's barking so much today. Maybe he needs to go outside, Maya suggests. Maybe, Mrs. Christie says. Though I just put him out half an hour ago. I don't need to go outside, I yell. I need to figure some things out. I lie back down so I can think. And so Mrs. Christie stops wondering if I need to go outside. The reason Maya smells like a blue-tongued skink could be that she has one for a pet. If she does, it's probably not the same one I found here at school. Her blue-tongued skink is probably at her house, unless it escaped and came to our school. No, if that happened, Maya would smell worried right now. She doesn't smell worried. She smells happy. Blue-tongued skinks do not lay eggs like other reptiles, Maya goes on. They give birth to live young. Other reptiles? Huh, so a blue-tongued skink is a reptile. Maya turns a page. Blue-tongued skinks are cold-blooded, she reads. They can't control their own body temperature. Your tank should have a heater and a basking light. While Maya reads, I make a list inside my head of everything I am learning about blue-tongued skinks. They don't lay eggs. They need heat. They need light. They need water. They like to hide. Their skin comes off in little pieces. They eat fruit, vegetables, canned dog food, and mice. None of that information helps me figure out where the blue-tongued skink came from, why he's in our school, or where he might be now. I spend the rest of the day thinking about the blue-tongued skink. Now I'm back in Mom's office. School is out. Mom and Ellie are still here. But all the kids have gone home. This would be a good time to go sniff around the rest of the school, but I'm supposed to stay here on this pillow. Mom told me to stay. Mom is typing away at her computer. Ellie is talking to someone on the phone. I could probably sneak away. I wouldn't have to be gone long. Maybe I could get back before Mom even noticed I was gone. But when Mom tells me to stay, I'm supposed to stay. That's the rule. Well, sometimes a dog has to break the rules. With one eye on Mom and Ellie, I keep my body low to the ground and creep past Ellie's desk, around the corner, and out into the hallway. Safe. Then I put my nose to the ground and sniff. I don't smell anything unusual in this hall, or this hall, or this hall. I go down some stairs. Hey, I've never been in this part of the school before. There are no classrooms down here. Just a dark hallway that smells musty, and some closed doors. It's kind of scary down here. A place a ghost would hang out, if there was one at this school. Suddenly, I hear footsteps on the stairs behind me. Slow, quiet footsteps. I freeze. There's no place to run, no place to hide. Oh, no worries. It's Maya on the stairs. Oh, she says when she sees me. She is as surprised to see me as I am to see her. I wag my tail. What are you doing here? I ask. I thought all the kids went home. She puts her fingers to her lips. Shh, she says. I trot along beside her. Where are we going? I ask. She doesn't answer. We stop in front of one of the closed doors. There's a sign on the door, but I can't read the words on the sign. Maya reaches into her pocket and pulls out a key. She smells nervous. What are you doing? I ask her with my eyes. She glances around, but it's just her and me down here. I watch as she unlocks the door. She only opens it wide enough so she can squeeze through. What's in there? I ask, trying to nose my way in. Can I come in too? But the door slams closed in my face. Oh no, this mystery is getting bigger and bigger. It's like Sterry says. It is quite intriguing. I can't wait to start chapter 6, boys and girls. Until then, happy reading!